Hello everyone, it is Caitlin, and today we are rewarping the board because, well, sometimes things happen. Welcome back with an unwarped loom. Yes, we did warp it last month. The psycho cat that I own, the kitten, decided to destroy it, so we gotta start all over again with this warping. So, that being said, since I'm already having to redo it, I decided let's go ahead and do it differently. So, first of all, I decided I would rather make, just to avoid having to warp the stupid thing again, make it all one length, and then we'll just do one panel, do like 6 inches of plain weave, start another panel, and then just cut it at the end. I think that's going to be easiest. It's going to save time with the warping, and so yeah, we're going to do that. The other thing I decided to change is that I don't think that the 15 reed was going to be big enough. Sorry, we're in the middle of a thunderstorm. So you hear thunder, like that's why. I think we're kind of under a tornado watch too, but whatever. So I did some research and I realized that you could double heddle these things and basically make it 30 DPI instead of 15 DPI. So we're going to try that today to kind of give it more depth and make it a little bit more like fabric and see if this works. I think it should. And there's the psycho cat that decided to destroy everything. He loves the loom, unfortunately. I also, for Christmas, got the table for the loom, which is awesome. So, very excited to be using that. But we're basically going to do the same thing, except last time we only had one heddle. We did it in one thing and pulled back, went to the next hole, and kept going. We're going to pull thread through each hole twice. So it's going to be twice as much yarn, basically, that we're using. And because we're doing it all the way at once, there's the other cat. There's a warping peg on the piano. The little stick thing, that's the warping peg. And also I just came home from an event because there's stuff everywhere. Clothes that need to be washed and my candles and lanterns and kitchen stuff, it's all there. Anyway, yeah, so basically it's going to be about 140 inches from the warping peg up to here, back here, 150 inches I think. I think I measured, I really need 36 inches per panel and I need 30 panels, which is basically 108 inches. And I want about 6 good inches in between, just so I don't feel like I'm cutting anything too short. And then I also need like 12 inches on either end, just for like tying purposes and like waist and that sort of thing. And then I added on a few extra inches, because why not? I mean, I can always use some more white cloth. At the very end, if there's just so much left, I'll just weave until I run out of space, and then I'll just have a little bit of extra, maybe like half a yard of cotton linen fabric that I could use for, I don't know, something. So we're going to be using the same stuff again. My little container full of the cotton, and let's go ahead and get started. So there's that. The tutorial I saw online for double 2 heddles had you just warp one and then come back and warp the other. Sorry, the cats are fighting. That made no sense to me. I'm going to try to see if it's not too difficult to do it twice at once. It just makes more sense to me. So I went over that time. We're going to go under this time. We're going to go into the same hole. We're in the second one now. There we go. Now we're in the third one. Making sure I'm in the third one here as well. Went over that time, so I'll go under this time and go in the same hole. So I get to continue in that manner, basically, until it is all warped. we'll do some check-ins in a little bit, kind of as I get to certain pieces or places. This was very hard on my back last time, but I am hoping to get at least this section or this part done tonight. Because I'm worried about the kitten getting to my yarn since it's like strewn across the floor and across the entire living room. I know he's not going to be respectful of that. Getting very close to being done. And there's a little monster who's destroyed the loom last time. Yeah, you think you're so cute. He's already broken my thread twice on this. I've had to tie new knots and all that. Told him he's about to end up on the farm as a barn calf. I won't put him in the barn, I'll put him out with him. Hawks can get him. Yeah, told you that, didn't I? Don't shape up. Good news is we're getting pretty close to being done with this part. Then we can do the other half of the warping. Alright, we're wrapping the warp around the back part. I have paper here to kind of separate the strings, which I didn't do last time, but I decided to do this time. Alrighty, so we are putting the threads through the heddle. I took one heddle off, so I could have done it with both heddles on, but I thought it was going to be way more difficult than it needed to be with both heddles on, so I just took one off. I'm going to rethread that one, but I think it's going to work out easiest in the end this way anyway, and it wasn't that big of a deal. So what we're doing right now is I have 4 threads coming from each little slot, and I'm pulling all 4 forward, grabbing just one separate, and then to the hole to the right, I'm pulling that one thread through. So there's 1 in the hole and 3 in the slot directly next to it. And I'm just putting them over there for right now. So there's 4. Put 1 through the slot and toss. Alright, and welcome to the difficult part of the warping. So I put on the second board, or heddle, whatever this thing is. And so I currently have, well, per slot I have 4 threads. I have 3 that are loose in the slot and 1 that's in the hole. So for the second one, I already have 1 section done. I'm doing this in groups of 5, groups of 4. So 20 threads, but it's 5 groups of the 4 threads that we did in each slot at the first step. And then I'm tying them on. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the one that's in the hole and one of the ones that were in the slot, doesn't matter which one, and I'm going to put them in the slot that already has 1 thread in it. It's really hard to see white on white on white, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. And we're going to pull those through. Now I have 2 more threads. 1 thread is going to go in the little hole next to it, potentially. Yes. And the other is going to go in the slot next to it. And that's all 4 threads. Next one, I need the next 4 threads. So the one that's in the slot plus the one that's in the hole and one of the one that's in the slot are going to go in the slot that I just put this last one in, which is this one. Not those threads, these threads. Okay. Now I have 2 more threads. One goes in the little hole. Well, maybe. It's really hard to do this. Okay. And then one goes in the slot that I can't see. Okay. So this one. Okay. So there's those. Next pair of 4. This one goes into a hole. And this one goes in the next slot. Okay. Now I have that done. So I'm going to take these threads, really comb them out, make them nice and straight and tight. Move this over just a little bit. Tie these in. Oops. And I've been tying that out 3 times. Hoping that'll stay. And there we go. So now I have that many threads done. And I have a lot more to do. Alright, we are very nearly done with this. It's taken forever. But I have a few more sections to do. And I can be done. Well, actually not quite, because the cat decided to sit on it. And so I have a few ones I need to like tighten on the other end. So we'll do that in a second. Apparently looms are very good places for naps. It's just the audacity of it after I told him I was going to take him to the farm and I'm going to get eaten by a hawk. To sit on my loom. And you can see where he decided to sit. He's actually sitting on like most of this. I fixed these 10. I just didn't get to these yet. Move my foot over. All right. But to keep him off at this time, I'm going to, first of all, not keep it up when I'm not weaving, because it's just not as tempting that way. And also I'm going to cover it with a quilt. So if he does climb up it, he's getting his claws in quilt. And then I'm going to turn this and face it to the wall, so he'll be climbing out the back end of it. So he really won't be able to hurt the weaving. So hopefully we won't have any more issues. Slight change of plan. So it was just being too wobbly. Certain threads are getting too loose. So I'm doing it this way. Which didn't take too much extra time, but on the end here. Still kind of annoying. So I just tied knots at the very ends, or loop them through this extra yarn. Everything stay nice and taut. Get it all nice and tight. Find the ends again. And there we go. That should be done. I'm going to go into kind of tighten this a little bit. There we go. All nice, tight. Now we're at the point where I think we can go ahead and we're going to kind of straighten all these ends out because there's just gaps everywhere. We're going to try to straighten that out a little bit and figure out where my shuttle is. Alright, let's go ahead and move both these to the up position. And then we can go down to the down position. Back to the middle position. I think I might need a longer shuttle. Alright, so that was 3. There's scissors somewhere. I think that's a spoon. That's not going to help me. Found scissors. Okay, that off. So I have 3 threads there. I'm just going to beat that down. And you can now see that it's nice and straight, so you want to pull this up. Get in that position. There it is. They're mostly all filled out now. Just a few little gaps, but they're not bad. Alright. Well, there we go. It is ready to weave now. That is the warping. Hopefully this time the cat won't get to it and we can continue on.